to Where I Long to Be, a magical trip report podcast. My name is Virginia, and I am your host. Thank you all for your patience as I wrapped up this post-trip report episode editing. I am thrilled to have it finished so that you can all enjoy the fun. As a reminder, based on my work schedule this week, there will be no new episodes next Monday, April 13th. The next episode you will hear will be on Monday, April 20th. If you have a trip coming up and are interested in being a podcast guest, please reach out through my website, which is whereilongtobepodcast.com, by using the Be Our Guest button. I am currently looking for people traveling this summer and beyond, and the sooner you submit, the better chance you have to be selected. Also, I am working on a little project for a special Off the Monorail episode, and I would love to get as many of you to participate as possible. If you have a place that you have been and recommend to others as a travel destination that is not Disney or Universal, or maybe not even a theme park at all, I want to hear all about it, whether it's a specific national park or a beach destination. Anything at all, as long as it's not Disney or Universal. Let me hear about your favorite place to go on a girls' trip, or to have a family reunion, or the best place to travel when you want to relax, maybe a spa or a resort you have loved, or someplace that is just a hidden gem that people don't know about. You get the idea. If you have a destination to submit, you can do that on my website, whereilongtobepodcast.com, and click the Send Virginia a Voice Message button that sticks to the right side of your screen. Make sure you leave your name and record a message, and it could be played on the show. Please note that by leaving a voicemail, specifically for this project, you have given me permission to use it in a future podcast. If you'd like to participate, please get that in within the next couple of weeks. Thanks in advance, and I cannot wait to hear your messages. And now, it is trip report time. In case you didn't get a chance to listen to the pre-trip report episode, Samantha and her husband Colin were taking their 3-year-old daughter Grace back to Walt Disney World March 14th through 20th and staying at the Grand Floridian. This was to be followed by a cruise on the Disney Wish March 20th through 23rd. While Grace has been to the parks a number of times, lucky girl, in her 3 years on this earth so far, this was the entire family's very first Disney cruise. That should be enough to catch you up, so let's get this party started. Please welcome back Samantha. Welcome back, Samantha.
Thank you.
How was your trip overall? I guess let's rate it. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best.
Oh, 10 out of 10. I'm so sad it's over.
Oh, well, this one was kind of a big trip because it was 6 nights in Disney, followed by a 3-night cruise, which sounds just amazing because my understanding of the Disney cruises is that they can be very relaxing, and to do that right after you've been running around, like a crazy person across Disney property, sounds like a nice way to end it and wrap it all up.
Yeah, it was. I think this is the longest Disney trip total that we've taken. But 9 days was ambitious even for me being a crazy Disney person. So we have been feeling it the last 2 days since we've been home, but it was, of course, worth it. And I would do it all over again tomorrow if I could.
Of course you would. So this trip was March 14th through March 23rd, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so just in terms of where we are today for listeners, today is the 25th. So I have to ask, because it's been in the news, how were the airports?
So I think we made it out pretty okay. We got on Saturday, the day we flew out, we did get to the airport super, super early on purpose because we were nervous about TSA. Yeah. But thankfully, we do have pre-check, and we did have Sky Priority because I think, at least in our airport, that's what always takes the longest is when you try to check your bag. The line to check your bag is always what's crazy, especially those early morning flights because they only have a couple people, working at the desk. So I think that saved us. We were through TSA in probably 45 minutes, which usually with having Sky Priority and TSA, normally that would have taken 5.
Right.
So it was busy. So we had a 2:45 a.m. wake up call that morning for our 7:05 flight. My dad drove us to the airport. He got to our house at 4 a.m. So we were at the airport at 4:30, which normally I would probably get there at about, I probably would have gotten there an hour later and during normal times, but we were fine. And then
Okay.
on the back end, I was shocked to see MCO was not bad at all. We were there Monday about 10:30, and we walked right through. But when we landed in MCO on Saturday, we saw the lines, you know, how you went when we were walking towards baggage claim, and we were like, oh my goodness.
Wow.
That looked insane. So, but I think we got lucky. all all in all.
Besides the lines, could you visually look at the people doing all the security checkpoint tasks and see, oh, they are short staffed?
It just seemed like a ton more lines. Like the general boarding in our Memphis airport was like way past baggage claim. It wasn't like out the door like I've seen in other airports, but it was way longer than it normally would have been. But it seemed like they had all the lanes open, you know, that you go through and check. But yeah, we were nervous, but it ended up being okay. So,
Okay.
but I don't think our airport has been as bad as others.
Yeah, the airports in New York have been bad. And then I also had seen, I think it was the Austin airport, which I had flown out of within the past 6 months or so because I was there for a conference. And so I recognized the where it was outside. I was like, oh yeah, I remember walking past that as I got out of my lift to go inside, and the line went all the way back there. But that being said, I don't recall, at least for the TSA pre-check line in that particular airport, that there's a whole lot of space for the line, because I think they're used to it going very quickly. So
Right.
it doesn't switch back and forth too many times before like there's no more line left. So maybe
Yeah,
that's why it
yeah,
was going outside.
yeah. Crazy times.
Yeah. All right. So you made it through security on
Yes.
your departure day just fine. Was your flight on time?
It was on time, so that was good. And we had a connection in Atlanta. And by the grace of God, our gate was literally next door, which
Oh, wow.
in Atlanta, that is unheard of.
Yes,
So that was
you got some
really
pixie
lucky.
dust
Yeah,
from the Atlanta
that was very
airport.
lucky. We would have been fine. We had plenty of time. We had like right at an hour. So, but that was very lucky.
And did the connecting flight also leave on time?
Yes, that left on time. The only hiccup that we had was so we gate checked our stroller and went fine in Memphis to Atlanta, but Atlanta to Orlando, my husband's sitting there waiting on it. And sometimes it'll be, you know, like one of the last things off the plane. But then he sees the flight attendants start walking off and he's like, we still don't have our stroller. And they called down for him and they were like, yeah, they said they're gonna look for it. Just hang on by the gate agent. So we waited another like 10 minutes and then they were like, they don't see it. So it might be at baggage claim or it's in Atlanta and you'll just need to talk to somebody. We're like, perfect.
Great.
And really the only reason we brought our, like, we just had a little umbrella stroller was literally just for the airport because I rented a stroller for the parks, but I just wanted like a little one because we're going through Atlanta. The Orlando airport's big. She can't walk that far, or she could and she would complain the whole time. So we were like, "It's great." So I'm holding her and we walk all the way to baggage claim. And it was just sitting on the baggage, you know, circle going around. So of course our bags were there by then. So that delayed us like an hour, which was kind of a bummer because
Wow.
we would have been an hour ahead of time. But I guess at least the stroller made it and we didn't have to talk to anybody or wait in another line. But so that was really the only hiccup.
Okay. Not so bad. And
Yeah.
I am 100% on board with you renting a stroller and only bringing your umbrella for the purposes of the airport, because I would not want to be pushing an umbrella, a stroller around Disney
No.
with as much
Yeah.
walking as you do.
Right. Yeah. You want the more heavy duty one and like a bigger basket underneath and everything like that.
And a smoother ride and
Yeah, exactly.
everything.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Away we go travel car service. How
Yes.
did that work out for you?
Well, they had to wait for us for an hour.
But they waited.
But they waited. Yeah. But they
Okay.
waited. So he got the place wrong where we were supposed to meet up. So he was like, go to B5. So we walk all the way to B5. And then I'm calling him like, hey, we're here. And he's like, oh, I meant B45. And we were like, oh my gosh. That's so all the way to B45. And he like profusely apologized. Was like, it's my fault. It's my fault. But after that, everything was pretty much smooth sailing. But it was just a little hiccup trying to get out of Orlando. But then we did a grocery pickup on the way, which is the first time I've done that. Usually I'll just have them delivered to the hotel, but they, I think it was only $20 more to do it on the way. So we stopped at a Publix. It was right by Universal, actually. It looked like a very nice shopping center. And that was smooth. That was on time. They brought them right out to his trunk. So, and then we were on the way to the Grand Floridian.
What time did you end up pulling up to the Grand Floridian?
It was 2:00 on the dot that we were walking in.
Perfect. And you had a Kingdom stroller rental drop off at 3, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it was either 3 or 3:30, but
Okay.
we had gotten the room ready text while we were in the Orlando airport. So we just went straight to the room. So that was convenient to be able to drop off our stuff.
How was your room?
Oh, so pretty. So pretty. It was a tad smaller than I had envisioned in my mind. We've stayed at the Polynesian the last 2 times in the DVC side, and those are huge with like the 2 bathrooms and everything. So maybe that's what I had it in my head to compare it to, but we had plenty of space for the 3 of us. The bathroom was so nice. Two sinks, which is always nice. There was a little like place where we could keep the stroller sitting out and not having to fold it every night. A place for water bottles. So we had plenty of room. We were in the Boca Chica building on the 2nd floor, and we were like dead center. So we had a great view of the quiet pool. And that was nice because we had a completely standard view, but we had a full-on pool view room. So it was pretty.
I'm opening up the map just so that I can take a peek here at what the buildings are called.
Yes. And our room was like that, like directly when you walked in, it was the room directly above the doors you would walk into. So we were dead center. So
very convenient to both the main building and the pool and the boat transportation.
Yeah, it kind of felt dead center. I guess like a little far back, but I mean, it's not that big of a resort to walk around. So, and it's pretty.
It is pretty. You get all the vibes. It's fine.
Oh, yes. So such good vibes. Ugh.
All right. So what did you do at the hotel while you waited for your stroller to be ready?
So they were in the pool. My husband and daughter were in the pool by 2:20.
Oh, wow.
How quick. So they went in that quiet pool real quick. I got us a celebratory drink and her a Mickey bar, which I had to eat because she was like, Mom, I don't want that. I want to swim. So I had to like eat a Mickey bar real fast while I was also having a Mai Tai.
Samantha, life is so hard.
Life is so hard. I know.
I feel so bad for you.
I know. Because I didn't want to get wet because I had to wait for the stroller guy at 3:30. So They swam. I, just enjoyed the vibes, and then met Kingdom Strollers at 3:30. I'm pretty sure it was 3:30. They were running like 20 minutes behind, but I made a friend. We chatted up. This was like it was like his 27th trip at the Grand Floridian. They were crazy DVC, Disney cruise, like all the Disney, things. And he was just telling me all about his Disney trips and life and his grandkids. So it made the time go by fast. That was sweet.
Was he also waiting for a stroller, or he just
He was.
happened?
He was waiting for the stroller. His family their flight had gotten messed up, so they were gonna miss their entire first day. So that was sad. Yeah. So he was picking it up for his daughter, but they were nice. I hope they had a good trip once they got there.
I hope so too.
And then I have that they swam until 4:30-ish. And then we went in and got changed. And then about 6, we went to the main lobby. Our friends who just moved to Orlando a couple months ago were meeting us for dinner that night. So we went to the Perch, that new bar in the lobby, which was so nice. I really think that's a good addition to that area.
Did you order anything special? And how did it feel because I haven't really paid attention to the seating that's right around that bar area.
Yeah.
I know that they have all those couches and everything, but does it feel like you're just having a drink in the lobby, or does it feel like you're at a bar?
I don't think it feels like a bar. I mean, there are probably probably less than 10 bar stools that you can actually sit at, and then they have a little place where you can get a to-go drink. But the majority of people, it's like couch and like more like loungy seating, a couple tables, and they had waiters walking around who would get you drinks too if you were sitting at those couches or tables. But they only have 2 cocktails on the menu, and then probably like 5 wines, 5 beers, and so it's pretty limited. But the 2 of their signature drinks, my husband got this Sazerac. It was some like coffee something Sazerac, and that was one of his favorite drinks of the whole trip. So he loved that. And then they had I think it was called the Floridian 75, so it's like a French 75, and that was really good too. So we got those a couple times. We waited on them. They said the traffic was crazy, so they were going to be late. So we went ahead and walked over to Narcoossee's and let them know we were there. We had to do some like rearranging of our reservations too, because we could never find a table for 5 or 6. So my friend had a table for 4. I had a table for 3. So I was explaining it to her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, no problem." And then pretty much as soon as they got there, they were able to seat us. So it worked out.
How was Narcoossee's?
I love Narcoossee's. That's still one of our favorites. I think that's like the 3rd or 4th time we've eaten there, but it's so good. And I think when they did like a renovation on it a couple years ago, it's even, I don't know, it feels more updated than it used to feel, a little more old school seafood restaurant, but now it feels very upscale, and it was fun, and it was fun to catch up with them. And it was kind of a long dinner though. That's what it was, not a quick meal, but we didn't have anything else to do, so it was fine. But I guess if you were trying to be in and out, it's not that kind of place.
No, it's definitely a sit down and enjoy your food kind of place. It is the place that Alex ate last year in February when we went, and he ordered the surf and turf, which was $90.
Oh yeah. So we got the New York strip and split it, but then ordered 2 lobster tails on the side. We definitely could have ordered 1 lobster tail because it was so rich and buttery, and he ended up eating probably half of mine, but it was so good. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And they had some good cocktails there too, I remember.
Yeah, they had this. It was a salted mascarpone espresso martini. That
Ooh.
was delish. It was almost like it felt like a cold foam on a coffee, but
Uh-huh.
it was mascarpone, so that was interesting
Interesting.
flavor. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I don't generally gravitate towards cocktails that involve a coffee flavor as much as I like coffee. But I will say that I have been noticing as I've been interviewing people that very frequently the cocktail that stands out to them is something coffee flavored. So I think I
Yeah.
need to expand my horizons and consider that when I'm choosing a cocktail from a menu.
Yeah, I feel like espresso martinis are everywhere right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
What did you do after dinner?
So we went back to the room, and then actually, if you walked like the entrance of the Boca Chica building, if you kept on walking, you were right at the water. And there's little steps, and we had, I mean, a perfect view of Cinderella's castle, and it was right before Happily Ever After. So we sat there and watched probably like the first 10 minutes of Happily Ever After on that first night, just on the little steps right by the water. So that was nice.
That sounds delightful. And then I'm sure you
Yes.
went back to your room and collapsed with your 2:45
Collapsed.
a.m.
Yeah.
wake up
Right.
call.
Yes. So, yes. Then we went to bed.
And Sunday, March the 15th, Beware the Ides of March for all you Shakespeare people out there, was a Magic Kingdom day, and you had planned to rope drop. So getting that sleep was critical for you to have a good day the next day. How did rope
Yes.
dropping go?
My family just cannot get the rope drop game together. I can. I can. They can't. Neither of them are morning people. But so we left the hotel at 7:40, and me being crazy, I'm like, let's just walk. Let's just walk. I don't want to wait on the monorail or whatever, even though that was not the smart decision because the Grand Floridian, you're the last stop before the monorail. But I think I was just like, I just want to walk. So it was a 16-minute walk. And I have that we got there at 8:11. So early entries at 8:30. So like, yes, we were there, but then it's like if you're not there before, I would say 7:45, 8, you're not really doing the legit rope drop, or at least not as efficiently as you could. So, but it's fine. I'm like, it's not a big deal. We're here all week. I have to be less type A.
What was
So
the first thing you wanted to conquer during that extra time?
the plan was Winnie the Pooh, but Seven Dwarfs was down. So I think a bunch of people who were trying to do Seven Dwarfs hopped into the Winnie the Pooh or probably Peter Pan ride. So the Winnie the Pooh ride, they were letting people line up through the queue, but obviously it just hadn't started yet. But it was all, by the time we got there, it was all the way back, like behind that Cheshire Cat little stand. And I'm like, this seems kind of long. We had a fast pass for that later in the week. So we rope dropped Dumbo.
Uh-huh. Not the first person I've heard say that.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
fine.
so we rope dropped Dumbo, and we were on at 8:22. They were actually running it, I guess, before the official 8:30. So that was a walk on.
A fly on, if you will.
A fly on, yes. Yes. And then since we were back there, I was like, Grace, let's do Barnstormer, which she's done before. And she's like, no, I'm scared. I'm scared.
Oh.
I'm like, okay. She's like, let's do Ariel. And in my head, too, I'm like, oh, this is so not efficient. This is going to be 5 minutes for 2 hours, but okay, whatever you want to do. So we did Ariel. And then that's always one of her favorites, though. And it is a super cute dark ride. So we did Ariel, and then we walked to It's a Small World, and by that time, It's a Small World was posted at 30 minutes already. I was like, oh my goodness. And it was, I guess it had to have been like barely after 9 by the time we got over there. But we ended up only waiting 11 is what I have written down. So,
Oh, that's good. Okay.
yes. Yes.
Yeah,
But
I tend not to get in line for Small World unless it is 20 minutes or less. And 20
yeah.
minutes is even pushing it. A lot of times I won't get in the line for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I was like, oh gosh, okay, we are here at spring break. But yeah, but 11 wasn't terrible. So, and that was cute. And then we had a lightning lane for Peter Pan. So that was very convenient. So we were right there. So
Sure.
we scanned in, I put at 9:25, we scanned in for that. So that worked out good. And then we did our first pin trade. Grace got really into pin trading. I think maybe 2 trips ago was when we started her collection. And she doesn't, I mean, she just picks the ones that she thinks are cute. We don't really have like a strategy to it, like trying to collect all of this or all of this. So she just, trades the ones that she thinks are cute. So,
Yeah.
but we did our first pin trade. And then we went to Gaston's and got a cinnamon roll. So that was our first little food stop.
First sugar hit of the day.
Yes, first sugar hit of the day. So, and that was a pretty long wait. I probably waited in that line for 20 minutes at that point.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was busy, but
Well,
it was
that's what
good.
happens when something is viral like that, because I think between that and the creme brulee croissant.
Croissant,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. I wanted to get that, but I knew she's a super picky eater. I'm like, she's not going to eat that, and we don't need to eat a cinnamon roll and creme brulee croissant. So
Right.
we all split the cinnamon roll. And it was delicious.
I didn't write a time down for this, but I had noted that you had made an appointment at the Harmony Barbershop, but you were considering canceling it. And I don't know where that was going to fit into the grand plans of your day.
Right.
So
Yeah.
did you cancel it?
Yes, I canceled it.
Okay.
I was too anxious about it because her hair is like so pretty and long and curly, and I mean it definitely needs to be cut. The ends need to be cut, but I was like, I feel like she has like real hair, so I don't know. I was like, this is making me too anxious for what it's worth. It's just a haircut. I'm going to cancel it.
Okay. Well, this will give you the opportunity to take her to a cute salon and, make
Right.
a little day out of it.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe you could take her to the nail salon too and get her like a little bit of fingernail polish on the same day.
Yeah.
Really make her feel pampered.
Right.
Okay. So you canceled that. And
Yes.
so where are we within your day now? Around what time?
So this would have been probably like 11-ish. 10,
Okay.
10:30.
Okay. So you still have some time to go before your beacon barrel. What did you do until
Yes.
that time?
So we went to Haunted Mansion was our next lightning lane, which is her favorite ride. Always has been her favorite ride, which is so funny. She thinks it's hysterical. So we did that. So, and she loved that. And then we did a little bit of shopping. That's what we bought her a magic band. This is the first time she's been since she's been 3. It can get a magic band, so she was super excited to pick that out. I think we bought more pins. That was the thing. Just buying those $45 pin packs. Adds up real quick.
It really does. I'm always
Yeah.
surprised at how much the pin, like I know how much an individual pin is, so it shouldn't surprise me. But when you pick up one that has several in it, I'm always like,
Yeah.
what? Why? Why is it this much?
I know. But
So.
I just like, you're just at this point like, what's money? $45, whatever,
When in Disney.
Exactly. So did a little bit of shopping, and then she got her first churro. She's also a big churro girl. And I did taste it and compare. They are way better at Disneyland. So that's a point for Disneyland. That's what everybody says, and it's true. So this one at Magic Kingdom, I was like, oh, this
No.
is, yeah.
The only churro that's worth anything in Disney World is Nomad Lounge.
Which we had. So, yes.
Well,
So,
I'll just ask you right now then, how did that
yes.
compare to Disneyland in your opinion? Because I think the Nomad Lounge ones are better.
I guess it depends what vibe you're going for. If you want like a castle churro, then, that's a better churro. But if you want to sit and have a cocktail churro,
I'm just talking taste alone.
taste, yeah, probably Nomad Lounge. We also got some at the quick service Mexico restaurant on the water in Epcot. They have little mini churros you can get too, and those are really good. Also,
Okay.
not as good as Nomad Lounge, but better than the regular Disney churro. So,
Yeah, the Nomad Lounge ones are so good, and I don't normally say that about things that are, gluten free. Like normally I like my gluten, but
yeah, I
in that
know.
case, it's really really good. So,
Yeah, yeah, and the dipping sauces that they give
oh
you with
yes,
those.
yep,
That
for
makes it
sure.
fun. Yeah.
All right, after the churro, where did you head next?
We had Beacon Barrel at 11:50. So that was really really cool. We ended up doing it a second time in our trip. So I'm glad that I ended up booking it twice because it was just a nice little reprieve at the Magic Kingdom. I think that was a good addition. But it was just super fun in there. Kind of reminds me of a mixture of Trader Sam's and Oga's, but a little more. I don't know. I think a little more relaxing than Oga's. That's like super loud in there to me, and I think there's more or less like stand up seating than they have at Oga's.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
which
So
is preferable to have more places to sit when you've been
right.
walking outside in the heat.
Exactly. Exactly. So Colin got his one souvenir of the trip. He ended up buying that whatever drink that comes in the pirate um, glass. So the
Oh,
drink
okay.
the drink is $45.
Because you
So
get to keep the
because you
glass.
have to,
Okay.
yeah, and there's no option to like get just the drink without the glass. So he was like, well, I guess I have a pirate cup now. So it is pretty cool. I can
You're
see
like,
it from here.
you better drink out of that every time you need a beverage.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. So I think that was the one thing he picked out. So I'm like, okay, you can have your little pirate mug. Right? So, but yeah, we enjoyed that. And then we had a lightning lane for pirates. So that was convenient right there.
Perfection in terms of planning.
Yes.
Well done.
I was trying really hard this trip to geographically make it make a little sense because and I do think that's a huge benefit to the booking the 3 lightning lanes ahead of time versus the Genie Plus when you were boom 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 like all over the place, so you can be a little more strategic. So yes, that was convenient. And then Grace was feeling the time change. We also started to get a little bit sick because, of course, she got sick because we haven't been sick in 2 years, but she waits and gets sick on our trip.
Oh,
So I know, I know. And at first we didn't know if it was just allergies or, we were up super early. So whatever. She was just done. So we ended up, I went and talked to a Blue Umbrella because she was like, I'm not riding Seven Dwarfs. She was scared. She was tired. She was over it. So they did refund those to me. So that's
good.
okay. Yes. So, and then I have, at 1:45, we were on the monorail and went back to our hotel for a little break.
Okay. And you had planned to park hop this day over to
Yes.
Hollywood Studios with how she was feeling. Did you stick to that plan?
Yeah, so we ended up taking a pretty long break. So we were in the room for 3 hours. So
Oh, okay.
I kind of walked around a little bit. Colin went down and walked around a little bit too, and she just kind of chilled out. She didn't sleep, but I think she needed that relax in the bed time. So,
Okay.
yeah, so she was fine. So I have that at 4:45. We were on the bus to go to Hollywood Studios, and then the weather. So we had the strangest weather this trip. It was on Sunday and Monday. It was humid, mid 80s. I had the fans out, like all the hot weather tools, and by Tuesday we had gloves. It was just
Oh, wow.
all over the place, all over the place. So there was a big storm on Sunday night, so we kind of had to dodge the rain a little bit at Hollywood Studios. But it was, I mean, torrential downpouring when we were trying to get onto the bus. Like it felt like a summer in Florida storm, just like crazy. So, but we had a Hollywood and Vine dinner, so we walked straight there. And then they kind of told us up front, because we had booked the Fantasmic dining package. And just by looking at the radar, she was like, if you want to cancel it, we can do that. Or if you want to cancel the Fantasmic package part of it, we can do that. But we have to know now, like you can't decide later, basically, and get your money back. So we were kind of like, yeah, let's just call it. So, but we stuck with the dinner at Hollywood Vine, and we really enjoyed it. So I was impressed by the food, and the characters were great. Some of them came around twice. It gave me the same vibes as Chef Mickey's without the noise
Without the chaos of it being in a lobby.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but it kind of a similar, I don't know, vibe, and
I can see that.
Yeah, like similar food. So we really enjoyed it. I would eat there again. I think that's a good one for Hollywood Studios. I feel like doesn't have the best, or not my favorite sit down restaurants. So I would eat there again if I was trying to do the Fantasmic package.
So did Fantasmic
For sure.
get rained out as you were expecting?
I think it actually went on, but so like it was doing the like torrential downpour, then light raining, then back to torrential downpour. So I think it was at 8:30 show that night, and it was raining, but like just raining enough where it would have been annoying. So but not raining too hard where it would have gotten canceled. So
Yeah.
I think we made the right call. It just wouldn't have been enjoyable. So
did you do anything else after dinner before you headed back out?
yeah, so we did the new Little Mermaid show. I had actually gotten a lightning lane for that in the earlier part of the day, because I feel like I had heard at one point like that's actually a decent use. Usually the shows aren't, but that one is. Well, it was completely unnecessary, and I don't know if it was because of the rain or it's just not as popular as it was when it first came out last summer. But there was literally zero need for a lightning lane, but it's fine. So,
I mean, when it's raining like that, a lot of people just
I
say,
think so.
never mind, we're going back to the resort.
Yeah,
So
I think so. Yeah, it was pretty cleared out. So, but we loved the new Ariel show. I haven't seen that in forever, the original one, but it was so cute. That was such a good upgrade.
Aw.
I
We
really
missed
liked
out on the opportunity to see it when we were there in September. So it's on my list to get to the next time.
Yeah. You definitely should. It was cute. And then we had a lightning lane for Mickey and Minnie I was able to pick up. I did have Stand by Skipper for this trip. I don't know if I mentioned that in the
Oh, I don't
pre-trip
think you
report.
did.
Yeah, and I've actually never used it before, but I was getting kind of nervous when I was, seeing like every crowd calendar was like red, 10 out of 10. I'm like, okay, if I can have a little bit of extra help getting some of these. So Stand by Skipper was able to get the Mickey and Minnie's for me and a Toy Story Mania that night. So that was nice because those definitely, I think, would have been the Toy Story Mania for sure. When I was pulling it up that morning in Magic Kingdom, it was already sold out. So it found that one.
Okay.
And then Mickey and Minnie's, it got that one too. So
Interesting.
so we did
Yeah,
that.
I've
Yeah.
used it a number of times, but it was always during the Genie Plus days. So I
Okay.
have not used it since it went over to MultiPass.
Yeah. It was. I'm glad I had it. I don't think it was probably entirely necessary for like our particular family because of the rides that we want to do. We weren't trying to ride many things that had like a big height requirement. So like I wasn't trying to get Space Mountain or Tiana's or, you know, some of those, you know, test tracks, some of those higher ones that I think are super popular. So it probably wasn't completely necessary for us, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it was nice to have.
Right. And when you can get
So,
it for the full week,
right.
you know, it's not that bad. If you're paying for it just for the day, it's
Yeah.
more expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it was worth it. But so we did a Mickey and Minnie's. That was about like 7:15-ish. And then we had a Alien Swirling Saucers lightning lane. So did that. And then at about 8, it was right at 8 was our Toy Story Mania one. And it was taking quite a long time in the lightning lane, and they came on the like speaker and said, we're having basically some technical difficulties. And then the people who worked the ride were like, we only have one, I guess, lane open, or one part of the ride was in service. So we were like very backed up in the lightning lane. So we were kind of like, Grace, this is probably going to take, you know, 30 minutes. Do you really want to ride this, or do you want to go back? So we bailed. And we had a lightning lane for that later in the week. So we left and we were back at the hotel at 8:30.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Monday, March the 16th was an Epcot day, and you intended to try to drop Frozen. How did that work out for you?
Once again, we were a little behind the 8 ball. But we were on the monorail at 7:50, and by the time we got to Epcot, it was 8:35. So by the time we walked all the way back to Frozen, it was at a 40-minute wait. Or no, it was at a 70-minute wait. We ended up waiting 40.
Okay.
So, I mean, that we just knew we were going to have to do that because you know how Epcot, with the way that they tier everything, we had picked Remy's because we knew we were coming in from the monorail to be easier to get to Frozen.
Right.
So I was like, if we're going to ride Frozen, this is going to be the time to do it. So it wasn't too bad. We had our morning energy, so it went by pretty quickly. So
Good.
yeah. And their faces were a major upgrade. They were significantly less scary than they used to be. So,
I am hearing good things about this renovation, so
Yes,
I'm looking forward to seeing that myself.
I think you'll like it. And then we went to that, oh gosh, what's it called? The Kringala Bakery.
Kringle, yeah.
Yeah, right there. They have a cinnamon roll that I don't think is as viral as the Gaston's one, but it was so good. So much better than Gaston's, and it's
Really?
huge, and it has orange icing on it, which is different. It makes me think of those, I don't know if you ever had those Pillsbury orange cinnamon rolls.
I have not.
Oh, yes. Those are delicious, but it tasted like a, better version of that. And it was like, the size of our heads. So that was good. And then I've always wanted to try the Viking coffee. So we got one of those for the first time. So that was good.
First time in forever?
First time ever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you get it regular or frozen?
Frozen.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
apparently you can get it in the liquid form too.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at their menu because I was not aware of this cinnamon roll. So there's not a photo and there's not much of a description, but it says cinnamon roll with orange cream cheese icing. Which
It was so good.
fascinating to me. Orange and cinnamon.
It was delicious. So then I told them, I was like, okay, the rest of the day is going to be chill. We have Frozen out of the way, our only like stressful thing. So then we kind of had a chill day. So our next or our first lightning lane, I guess, was at Figment. So we did that. Figment was at a 30-minute wait at 10:30 in the morning. If that tells you how that tells you how busy it was. So I was like, oh my gosh.
Thank goodness for Lightning Lane.
Yes. Yeah, that was an absolute 100% necessity this week. I mean, I'm glad we had it at Animal Kingdom even. It was the crowds were crazy. So but we did Figment with our Lightning Lane, and then we waited for the Figment meet and greet, which was so cute. I've never done that before. I don't even think she knows who he is. But it was cute. And then we did Spaceship Earth with the Lightning Lane at about 10:30, 10:45. And then I had picked up a Nemo then and got a Lightning Lane for Nemo, and something must have been wrong with it because after Spaceship Earth, we walked back to Nemo, and the Lightning Lane was like way stretched out, super far, and we're like, oh no, we will come back. Like, I'm not waiting for that ride that long. So that was about the time that our Guardians Lightning Lane was about to open. So Colin went ahead and did that. And then me and Grace went to the Encanto dance party. We've done that a couple times and she loves that. So I went to that. The Florida Fresh booth for the Flower and Garden Festival is right by that stage too. So I got a little sampler beer, and it was this fish sandwich, little mini slider with a fried green tomato on it. That was delicious. Yes.
That sounds delicious.
It was delicious. So we got that. She got her snacks out, and we did the Encanto dance party. So that was fun.
Now, you had gotten Lightning Lanes for Guardians for all three of you, right? And
Yes.
Grace was not tall enough to ride it anyway. So did you have to go deal with getting one refunded, or did one of you ride twice?
So we ended up dealing with it the next day in Animal Kingdom because I think we ended up just it started raining again on Monday, so we didn't want to deal with it. So I was like, I feel like if we can figure this out tomorrow. So the next day in Animal Kingdom, I just found a booth or the Blue Umbrella, and I was like, hey, this is a situation. And she was super nice, so she refunded Grace's from the day before, and then we had booked it in for for Wednesday in the trip, and she refunded hers for that day too. So
okay.
Yeah, so she was nice about it.
So did you go do your Guardians?
Yes, so that was like perfect timing. By the time Colin was done writing his, we were done with the dance party and we switched off. So I got mine, and I got conga. So I officially have gotten all the songs.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was manifesting conga so bad because that's the only one I haven't gotten. And so it was just, I was texting Colin. I was like, manifesting conga, manifesting. And then our text when I got off, I was like, conga! So,
Oh, that's great.
I know.
Love that.
Yeah. It's just fun to complete it, you know?
Yep.
So, and I think he got September, which I think is the best. So, so then they had already gone over to Mexico. We had gotten that scavenger hunt thing that they have for the kids. They have two right now.
Right.
One's like a Spike the Bee, and then one's Easter eggs. So we picked out the Easter egg one for her. So I think that was either like I think it was like $12. And that was the best $12 ever spent. She had a blast looking, like trying to look at all the countries, finding the egg. So, and putting the little sticker on. So we started doing that. And then we went to, we stopped in Mexico, China, Germany, Italy, kind of had some drinks and some food. And then we had planned to mobile order her chicken tenders in America. I have never spent so much time in the America booth at Epcot since I've become a mom. But we're in America every time because they have chicken tenders and they have watermelon as a side too, which is one of the like 15 things that she'll actually eat. So but then it started torrential downpouring, like right as we're getting to that building, I forget what it's called, Regal Eagle, and the crowds that just whoosh went into that place. It was insane. So we took us forever to find a table. I saw this mom and daughter who were like standing over by us, and she was having a meltdown. The mom looked like she was about to cry. I'm like, do you want to share our table? So we shared a table with some friends who were actually from Tennessee as well. So, but it was crazy in there. But the weather then the rest of the day was just rainy back and forth and being crazy. So
did it clear up some of the crowds though?
No.
No, they were not deterred.
No, I think it was early enough in the day. It was like 2:00 and the radar was just super scattered. So it was just kind of one of those things. You had to have your poncho on, poncho off, poncho on, poncho off. So, but it was fine. We've gotten pretty lucky. We don't really take summer trips, so we haven't really had to deal with rain a whole lot in Disney. So I feel like we were kind of probably due to experience that.
Well, that's a good way to look at it, Samantha.
Yes.
It was your turn.
It was my time. But then we had a lightning lane for Remy, which I have had such bad luck with that ride. Like every time we have a lightning lane for it, it's canceled, it's down, something happens. So finally got to ride it again. And I don't know what it is. Even now, that is the only ride in all of Disney World that gives me motion sickness. I think it was like the screen felt so big and like you're way too close to the screen or something like that. I seriously at one point had to close my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh.
And Mickey and Minnie's doesn't do that for you in like the underwater portion?
No. Okay. I mean, I can ride everything, but for whatever reason, the 2 times that I've rode Remy's with glasses and without glasses, I don't know. It doesn't agree with me. And which is sad because it's super cute and I love that movie, but I don't know. Yeah. I guess it's just not my thing.
Okay.
But, so we rode Remy and then we actually had some friends from college who were there with their kids for spring break too. So Colin had been texting him, so we met up with them in France, and one of their daughters was exactly Grace's age, and they hit it off right away and were playing with their bubble wands together and stuff. So that was kind of fun. So we hung out with them in France and then went over to England with them, and that was just kind of fun that she had a little buddy for,
that is fun,
an hour or two. So and then there was a Alice meet and greet happening, and this was our first real like pixie dust moment. So Grace and their daughter were just waiting in the regular line, and Alice said something to her character attendant, and she takes both of their hands and she walks them all through the little gardens of the UK booth. And like, I mean, she was with them for 10 minutes, just blah, 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 just like chatting with them, pointing out all the flowers or whatever like that. It was the sweetest thing ever. So that was.
Did you get
really
pictures?
Cool. Oh yes, I will. Okay. I will share. It was adorable. The only bad thing is they're in their ponchos and not their cute outfits, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It happens. Yes.
It happens, especially in the
So,
UK.
right. Yeah, exactly. So, um, after that, I think we had some lightning lanes booked back in like Living with the Land, and we still had that Nemo to use, but we were kind of looked at each other like, we're right here by the International Gateway. Grace had seen the Skyliner. She's like, I want to ride the Skyliner. I want to ride the Skyliner. So we're like, all right, let's just call it a day, and we're gonna ride the Skyliner. So
Mm-hmm.
we took that to the Riviera. We stayed at the Riviera probably, gosh, that would have been like 3 years ago. And I just love that hotel. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think it gives like the same vibes as Grand Floridian without all the crowds that the
Mm-hmm.
Grand Floridian has. So I don't know. I just really like that hotel. So we skylined it over to there, and then we got a minivan from the Riviera back to the Grand Floridian. So
What time was this at approximately?
probably like fourth. It was like 4:30,
Okay.
5ish.
So
Yep.
was this a midday break for you, or you called it a day
We just called
completely?
it a day. Called it
Oh,
a day.
okay.
Well, we went back to the Grand Floridian. We went to the Enchanted Rose bar
Mm-hmm.
with her, and that was really fun. I've got this tiny little Uno pack from the dollar store for our trip, and
Mm-hmm.
that was such a good thing to have for the lounges
Mm-hmm.
with her because it was something to do to entertain her while we wanted to have, you know, a, a cocktail. So we
Mm-hmm.
played Uno for probably an hour and enjoyed Enchanted Rose. And then same thing, kind of hung out in the lobby, listened to the piano, and
Mm-hmm.
then that was the night we ended up having room service. So
Oh, fancy.
I know. And she watched Parent Trap for the first time. So, which is
Wait
one
a
of my
second.
favorite,
Which version?
the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap.
Okay. Are you saying that in of course, the Lindsay Lohan kind of way?
Well, that's
Or I need to know how you feel about this.
okay. The Lindsay Lohan one is probably my favorite movie of all time. The Lindsay Lohan version,
Wow. Okay. Of all
I would
time.
say.
Of every
I
movie.
think I think of every movie. Yeah, it's either between that and Father of the Bride.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I love that movie, but
I do
yeah.
enjoy the Lindsay Lohan version, but I also grew up watching the original.
Yeah.
And so it holds a special place in my heart. I would say I
Yes.
probably like them equally.
Yes. It's so that movie's so nostalgic to me because I remember going to see that in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like 8, 9 or something
Mm-hmm.
when that came out. So,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. All right. Back to your fun. So
Yes.
Tuesday, March the 17th, which I believe was St. Patrick's Day.
It was.
Okay. St. Patrick's Day, you were heading to
Hmm.
the Animal Kingdom, but
Yes.
before that, you had your 1900 Park Fair reservation. So, how was that breakfast?
Yes, that was great. That's the first time we've ever been there, and that was awesome. The food was great. The
Mm-hmm.
characters, that's such a unique group of characters. So, I think Grace was had a little crush on Aladdin. She was just looking at him
Who
like
does not have a crush on Aladdin?
he was pretty cute. And every time he walked by, she'd be like, it
That's
was
cute.
adorable. Oh, so yeah. So no, I would definitely eat there again. And obviously, if you're staying there, it was super convenient. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one worth it to go out of your way for. And this was the day that cold front came in, and it was I took a screenshot. It was 45 degrees,
In the
which
middle of the
is
day.
at like like 9:30 when we're walking to breakfast. It was
Wow.
45 degrees. It was crazy. So we had to pack up our gloves for Animal Kingdom after we had just been, had fans on us the day before. It was wild.
Speaking of wild, Animal Kingdom.
Yes, yes. So, and this was probably the day that she was feeling the worst too, with the little cold that she had. So I think that was kind of good that we had Animal Kingdom because it was just chill.
Right.
So
It's a shorter day anyway.
yes, it's a shorter day. So, we we got there at 11:54, and we went to the safari first. Had a lightning lane for that, so always fun. And then we did the 1 o'clock Festival of the Lion King show, which is always one of my favorites. So did that, and then we had a lightning lane for Navi River Journey right after that Festival of the Lion King show. So again, I was trying to be as smart as I could with the walking. So that ended up working good. And then we had put our name on the list for Nomad Lounge. And it probably took like 30 minutes and they called us back. So that ended up working good with when we were done with Navi River Journey. Walked over to Nomad Lounge at 2:45. So that's where we got the amazing churros. Yes. We were kind of off in this random side room that I've never seen before. So that was a slight bummer because it wasn't the outside and it wasn't that big room that you're used to normally seeing. It just looked kind of like a regular restaurant. And
Where did you get to? Did you go into Nomad and turn to the right?
no, so you just like kept walking like you would to go outside, and it was a part of the restaurant I'd never seen open. So I think it looked like there were doors that extended, and
Interesting.
we overheard another table talking to the waiter, and he said that they only open that during super busy times. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so it wasn't the same. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a secret room
yeah,
open. So interesting.
it was fine. It just kind of felt like you were at like a dinner table.
Right.
It wasn't couches and
Maybe it's like the room of
lounging.
requirement. You only see it if you need it, and it
Yeah,
becomes what you need.
yeah, it was fun.
I noted that you were. I can't remember the timing of when we spoke last, whether you had actually made your lightning lane reservations or whether we were just talking about your priorities or not. But I noted that your third one was supposed to be Kali River Rapids. And I'm guessing that if you ended up having that, you probably canceled it based on how cold it was.
Oh yes, it was freezing. Yes, so that was switched to Zootopia, which then was switched to Everest. So we ended up using it for Everest, and me and Colin switched off on that one. And then I was still able to pick up Zootopia later. So there's not much to do at Animal Kingdom right
Yeah,
now.
it's a little light.
Yeah, but that's okay. So she ended up falling asleep for like an hour and a half too. So, and we were just kind of just walking, strolling, shopping. I was like, let's let her take a nap as long as she needs. So she woke up. She always wakes up a little grumpy. So she said she did not want to go to Zootopia. She wanted to go back. So we went back. So that was like 5 something. But we decided on the ride home that we were going to go to Magic Kingdom that night and do a little something. She had perked up a little bit on that bus ride home. So I was able to get some lightning lanes for, I think I got one for, no, that's what it was. Standby Skipper got me one for Peter Pan. Because I was like, I was like, just in case we end up going to Magic Kingdom, let me see if, Standby Skipper can find this. So We got a Peter Pan, and then I was able to get a Little Mermaid. So we got to the monorail at 6:15 and did the People Mover right when we got there. So that was like a 10-minute wait. And then did lightning lanes for Little Mermaid, Peter Pan, and left at 8 o'clock. So just a little quick pop in, pop out at Magic Kingdom.
Don't you love that?
Very convenient.
I love when you're staying next to any of the parks where you can just be like, I'm just going to go real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just because it felt so early. We had such a late start. We didn't really want the night to end, you know? So, but that was nice. I wanted to stay for the Starlight Parade, but it was probably a good call just to leave. And it was really cold after the sun went down. So, so we left at 8 o'clock and got the quick service at Grand Floridian for dinner and had a decently early night, I guess.
That brings us to Wednesday, March the 18th, which was a Hollywood Studios day.
Yep. So we kind of took it a little easy this morning because she still just wasn't feeling 100%. So we were at the bus at 10 a.m. to Hollywood Studios.
Oh, okay. So you had a nice little sleep in there.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay.
Yep. So, and that ended up working fine with our lightning lanes and everything because our first one, we had Slinky from 9:45 to 10:45. So we went straight to Slinky. This was the moment of truth. She was 38 inches and she could ride.
Woohoo!
I know. And she ended up loving it. So.
Oh, good.
I know. I was excited because she was nervous to do it. But she ended up liking it. So, and I was like, yay. And she hit the height requirement fine that I was like, is she 40 inches? We ended up, like, later that day, we ended up walking to Soarin'. And we probably could have made 40 inches work if we would have had the right shoe. But it's fine. Next time. But, so we did Slinky. And then we had a lightning lane for Toy Story Mania. So we did that. And then by that time, it was already lunchtime, basically. So we did a mobile order for Backlot Express because they have chicken tenders. So walked over there. That was the only time we saw Galaxy's Edge that whole trip was that little walkover. So ate there. And then we were like, okay, let's see if we can get into the next villain show because that was something new for us since last trip. So I think it was the 11:30 villain show, and by the time we got over there, they were too full. They had us in like an overflow lane, and they're like, stand here, we might be able to get you in. And they're like, no, sorry, you have to try for the next one. Okay. So that was about the time for our Tower of Terror lightning lane that me and Colin were going to switch off on. So he went ahead and used his Tower of Terror. Me and Grace did some pin trading, bathroom breaks, all the things. And then by the time he was done, we did the next villain show. So that ended up working good.
How did you like it?
I liked it. I liked the Little Mermaid show better, but that's just me.
A villains fan in general, or do you prefer the princesses?
I prefer the princesses. Now, my 3-year-old loves the villains, so that was hysterical to watch her. She was like beaming from ear to ear.
That would be me.
Yeah. So yeah, she enjoyed it. Maleficent won, which I hear is who normally wins. So.
I've been on a quest to figure this all out, as listeners will know. They each can win. I've heard instances of each of them winning, but my question really at this point is, do they do alternate versions of their songs so that somebody has the most chance to win, so that it does switch off occasionally?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you have one
Or,
like really jazzy version of your number where you're like, this is a showstopper? And then you have sort of
right.
the more boring. But I do know that it is based on your clapping.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, and that's what we were talking about too. We're like, it's kind of unfair. I mean, because she's a dragon, so like
and
that's pretty cool.
she goes last, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. She went
like,
last.
you know, she's able to like bring the win home, I guess. But I don't know. I've heard of the other two winning as well. The Captain Hook winning was a little shocking to me because I was like, really, his song was not that great. But
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
but the Cruella de Vil win didn't surprise me. I think it just depends on the day and who you have out
Yes.
there. So
Yes. So, yeah. But that was fun. Something new. So, and then I did my Tower of Terror, Lightning Lane. While Colin walked Grace, she fell asleep in the stroller. So he was just kind of strolling around Hollywood Studios waiting for me to be done. And then we got a drink at Hollywood Brown Derby Lounge while she was napping. So that was nice.
what
Well,
did
of
you
course,
get?
I always get the if I have time, I would get the margarita flight that they have.
Yes, that's my
But
favorite.
yes, but I just ended up getting one of them. And of course, she woke up like as soon as we got our drinks and was grumpy. So we're like, okay. So the drinks were short lived, but it's fine.
Which margarita did you pick?
Is it pomegranate?
I think so, with the sugar rim.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
pomegranate. I don't.
That
Yeah,
that sounds right to
it's
me.
pink. It's pink. That's
Yes,
all I
it's
know.
pink. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But so we did that, and then we took the Skyliner to Epcot at about 3.
Okay, you originally had a beaches and cream reservation. Did you cancel that?
Yes, we canceled
Okay.
that.
All right. So hopped to Epcot, and was the goal here to do the flower and garden booths this afternoon?
Yes, and we didn't finish the little Easter egg hunt thing
Okay.
the day before because the rain, kind of messed our plans up a little bit because we had to dodge between countries. So, and by this point in the day, it was gorgeous outside. I mean, picture perfect weather. It was like 68, sunny, not a cloud in the sky. So, a much more enjoyable Epcot experience than walking around with a poncho. So,
And
yes.
this is for people who are not as familiar with these scavenger hunts. That you might have a feeling like you need to do it all in one day. You do not. You can take it back and do it over multiple days. And you can also, if you think you're going to forget to go and pick up your prize or whatever, when you purchase the scavenger hunt, you can ask for the prize up front so that you don't have to turn back around and go get it.
Gotcha.
So
That's
the
good
more
to
you
know.
know.
Yeah, the more you know. So, yeah, so we just kind of spent some time walking through World Showcase. And like I said, the weather was just so pretty. So we just kind of took our time. And then I had picked up a Living with the Land and Nemo because we had missed those the 2 days before. So we did those rides. And then we ended up not doing, we had booked another Guardians and we were just kind of like, it really does just take time to switch off like that. So we were like, we just don't really feel like, being here for another hour. So we ended up leaving and we were on the monorail at 6:15.
Okay. This was an extended evening hours at Magic Kingdom with, kind of dealing with how she's been feeling and everything. Were you up for that?
So we ended up, like I think I've said, we stayed at the Polynesian our last 2 trips and we hadn't been to the Polynesian yet. So we took the monorail and we stopped at the Polynesian and walked around, went to Tambu Lounge. She kind of walked through all the shops and, she she remembers the Polynesian because she was there just like a year and a half ago. So we got to see the new tower and their, the new pool and everything like that. So that was just kind of fun to walk around. So, and I think we've decided that Polynesian is our favorite. Like I think that's officially our favorite now.
Okay.
After, yes.
I'm surprised she remembers it because she's 3, right?
She'll be
Is she
4
close to
in a
4?
month. Yeah, she'll
Oh,
be
okay.
4 next
Okay.
month.
Because I
So
was like a year and a half ago that she was not even due
yeah.
yet. But
Yes,
okay.
no, yeah. So we stayed at the Polynesian Thanksgiving of 2024. So she would have been 2.5.
Just about to turn
But
3. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But yeah. So
I
that was
also love
fun.
the Polynesian. I think it is probably my second favorite after Wilderness Lodge, if I have to
Yeah.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It makes you feel like you're on vacation more. Like I
Yeah.
feel like more like I'm at a resort, whereas the the Grand Floridian is stunning and like but it feels more like I'm at a fancy hotel than I'm on a tropical vacation with
Yeah.
the view of the castle. So so I think that'll probably be our go-to if we want to do a splurge trip. But I also am a completionist and want to stay at all of them. So we
Right.
got
Yeah.
we have several more that we need to stay at.
Yeah.
So
All right. Anything else this evening?
we actually ended up eating at Citrico's that night,
Oh,
which
wow.
I know, which was the first time that any of us had ever eaten there. I think my husband really wanted to do that, and it ended up being great. I was shocked by how big that restaurant is, like how far back it goes.
What did you think in comparison to Narcoossee's?
I think I think I would pick Narcoossee's first. Probably the atmosphere, is better at Narcoossee's, being on the water and seeing the castle, whereas Citrico's again just kind of feels like a regular fancy restaurant. But the food was good, and the service was great. So yeah, it was something different.
Yeah. All right. So that brings us to Thursday, March the 19th, and it was your final Magic Kingdom day. So take me through that.
So this was definitely all of our favorite day on the trip. It was, I think this is the most perfect Magic Kingdom day I've ever had. So it makes me almost tear up thinking
Aw.
about it, because like just everything, when you have plans and just everything went exactly to plan. It was perfect. So, we got there at, I have 9:08, and as we're walking in, the Dapper Dans are singing. It's a beautiful 70-degree morning. Like, it's just like, ah.
And you're like, we're off to
So
a really good start here.
good start. So we had our first lightning lane was Jungle Cruise that morning, but Pirates was a 5-minute wait. So we're like, oh, let's do that. So we did a walk on at Pirates, and then did our Jungle Cruise right there. And then we went to Sleepy Hollow to get the waffle, which I know I love the original Nutella waffle sandwich. And I know they switched it, and I thought they had switched it back, but it is not the fold-over waffle sandwich that it used to be.
No.
But I thought they had switched it back at one point.
So the last time I had it, it was like a round waffle. It was not, I don't think, the Mickey shaped one. So it was back to what I thought was like the better flavor. But the berries and things are different.
Yeah, it's not as good as it used to be.
It's not as fresh, right? And then also my memory of it is it had more Nutella on it than it does now. And so
Yeah.
now you have to pay $1 to get an extra thing of Nutella if you really want to jazz it up and have as much Nutella as it originally had.
Yeah.
But that's
So
worth the $1 to me,
yeah.
frankly.
Yeah, that's for sure worth $1. But it was still good. It's just not as good as it used to be. So oh well. So then our next lightning lane was at Haunted Mansion. And we were kind of getting a little close to our Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique time. And I was like, do you think, I'm looking at Colin, I'm like, you think we have enough time to do Haunted Mansion? He's like, yeah, I think we're fine. We're, kind of like right here. So I'm like, okay. So it was probably like 10:25 and our Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique was at 10:50. So everything's going fine. We get on Haunted Mansion and we stop and we stop and we stop.
Oh, no.
And we stop for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to be evacuated off the ride. And like, logically, I know that if I show up late to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, like, it's going to be fine. But I have to be on time to things, So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to have a panic attack. Get me off of Haunted Mansion. But thank God it started to move. And we ended up being like 3 minutes late. So
not bad.
all was fine. All was fine. But I was like, we're going to have to walk off this ride. What's happening? So we got to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which I think I was probably more excited than Grace. So, so our reservation was at 10:55. And then we waited in that first little room for probably 20 minutes till they called her back. And then she ended up picking Belle.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I know.
Surprising. We were guessing Aurora when we spoke first time.
Yes. Yeah. So she was between Aurora and Belle, but she kept saying Belle. So I was like, all right, Belle, which I was happy about. Belle's my favorite princess. I was like, perfect. So, did the little dress try on. I cried when she tried it on. I was like, I feel like she's getting ready for her wedding day. Like, oh my gosh. And then I think I was surprised by the amount of waiting between each little section of it. So
yeah, it's not a fast experience.
No, it probably took us, it was almost 2 hours.
But honestly, with as much money as you're paying for it, it's like, it's an experience. And yes, part of it's waiting, but part of it is the magic of getting matched with your fairy godmother and the dressing room, and then let's do photos if your child is willing to do photos after, and all of that.
Yeah. So we walked over to the castle and she, started doing her hair and makeup. It was so cute. I feel like we had like a really good seat too. And like perfect timing. The fairy godmother walked in almost when she was about to be done. And she walked up to Grace literally as soon as she was about to turn her and like do the big reveal. So the fairy godmother was there. Yes. So the fairy godmother was right there by Grace for the big reveal. So there's this awesome picture of the fairy godmother, the girl doing her hair, and Grace in the mirror, like all at once. So that was like
cute.
Perfect timing. And then more perfect timing. So Grace got to walk with the fairy godmother over to that place where you get the pictures taken. So it's like, so people were, I think, probably looking at us like we were famous. Like, who's this girl walking with the fairy godmother? We had like an escort.
Well, it's like you stepped right out of a Disney commercial, right?
Literally. Yes.
What you would see.
Yes. I was like, I cannot believe this is happening. That was cool. So then we got our picture with her, and she just loved it. I loved it. I would pay double for that experience.
Shh, don't say that. They'll hear you.
Yeah, I know, but it really was. I'm like, oh,
I
that
think
was
it's
worth.
exactly the right amount you're charging, Disney. Like,
Probably,
don't change a thing.
probably. But it was worth every penny. So
Good.
it was fun. So, um, so I have that we were done at 12:37. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had a good little lightning lane set up. We did teacups, poo, and then seven dwarfs. So all right
Mm-hmm.
there. So, and she loved seven dwarfs. So she
That
said
was
she
going to be
liked,
my next question.
yes. So I
Okay.
think Slinky Dog gave her some bravery, and but
Mm-hmm.
she did end up saying that she liked seven dwarfs better than Slinky, which,
Okay.
yeah, I think I would have predicted. I think it's slightly less scary.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're similar, I think, in terms of the thrill factor, except
Mm-hmm.
that on Slinky Dog, it's a little higher up in the air
Mm-hmm.
and you can kind of see what's coming. Whereas Seven Dwarfs, it's like, oh, the next thing is kind of around a corner, so you don't know what's really going to happen until you're there and it's
Right.
slightly lower to the ground. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. The ride picture for that is hysterical though. Her face as she's coming down that hill.
Oh,
She looks terrified, but she said she loved it. So
good.
yeah.
I hope I'll get to see those photos.
Yes, yes. So, and then after that, we did a spring roll break, while Grace fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we had, our second beacon barrel of the trip at 2 o'clock. So
Mm-hmm.
that ended up working good. And that was fun again. We were kind of seated in almost a pretty similar area. So,
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have been in that main room, but that's okay.
Next
Next
time.
time.
Gives
Yep.
you a reason to go back.
Right. So, and then my plan ended up working good. I was like, Festival of Fantasies at 3 o'clock. That'll probably work out good timing wise. And
Mm-hmm.
it did. So we were able to get an awesome spot for Festival of Fantasy right as it was like making its way
Mm-hmm.
up to the castle. I mean, just showed up. I was like, where did the people go? So
Mm-hmm.
that was awesome. And then got another churro. I think that was churro number 6 or 7 for Grace of the trip. Did some more pin trading, and then at 3:50 we took a boat to Wilderness Lodge.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And this was for storybook dining. So what did you
Yes,
think about that?
we loved that too. So
Mm-hmm.
all of the character meals this trip were great, but
Mm-hmm.
that one, the food was awesome. The characters were awesome. Grace loved the evil queen because she loves the villains.
Of course.
Yeah, her grin in those pictures are hilarious. Like
Oh,
so
I love
so
that.
that yeah, it was really fun. That was a nice break. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
were over there for probably like probably close to 2 hours. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a like quick thing either, but that
Mm-hmm.
was fine. We kind of planned on that. Um,
And then you had tickets for the dessert party, but it was after Happily Ever After because they have the before the fireworks, during, and after, right?
yes, yeah, we had the
Okay.
post party
Mm-hmm.
tickets. So when we got back to Magic Kingdom, we did Enchanted Tales with Belle
Mm-hmm.
because I had asked a cast member earlier, like, what's the last, Enchanted Tales Belle show of the night? And
Mm-hmm.
that's the first time we've ever done that. So, but of course, since she was dressed up like Belle, I was like, oh, that would be so cute if we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, she loved that. She was a plate. So,
Did
cutest
she
plate ever.
try to argue it all and say no? I'm Belle. Like, can't you
Yeah.
see? Come on.
So, yeah. So that was super cute. Uh, so we did that. We had another lightning lane for Little Mermaid. So that was the
Mm-hmm.
third time we rode that. And then we had one, I had picked up one, or Stand by Skipper did, can't remember, for Peter Pan. That went down. So we had an Anytime Lightning Lane. So she got to ride Haunted Mansion twice that day, her
Mm-hmm.
favorite ride. And then our last ride of the night was It's a Small World. And we did get on It's a Small World. The instructions for the dessert party, it just said 8:30. But I
Mm-hmm.
knew the fireworks weren't until 9:30. So I'm like, we don't need to be there at 8:30. I mean, I guess if you wanted the most premium spot, you could do that, but I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that concerned. So we did It's a Small World and then went to the dessert party check-in after that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did you feel like the dessert party was worth it?
it's definitely expensive, and I think it's not, to me, it's not a necessity every trip, but
Mm-hmm.
this was kind of like a special day. Our, her Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique day, our last day of this,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic trip. So it felt, I don't know, it felt worth it to me on
Okay.
this day. Plus, with the spring break crowds, I'm not sitting up 2 hours waiting for a fireworks spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not me. So
Yeah, agreed.
yeah, but it was nice, and people were pretty like respectful in that area too. Like
Mm-hmm.
there were adults around us who kept being like, can she see okay? Can she see okay? Which I thought was really
Mm-hmm.
sweet. So we were
Mm.
around a good group of people too.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, so Friday, March the 20th was your checkout day because you were going to board the Disney Wish. So, did
Yes.
everything go okay getting you from the Grand Floridian over to Port Canaveral?
Yes. So we did like the Disney Cruise Line transportation. So we had our bags out of our room by 7 a.m. is what it said to do, and I went to get coffee at
Mm-hmm.
7:15 and they were already gone. So that was
Nice.
efficient. And then our little instruction said meet in the lobby at 9:30 for a 10 o'clock bus departure.
Mm-hmm.
And that went right on time. So and we got, it was like an hour and 5 minutes to Port Canaveral,
Mm-hmm.
and that whole process was super smooth. Like, we got off the bus, we went through security, we did our check-in, and by the time we were done with check-in, they were calling our boarding group, so we had zero
Mm-hmm.
waiting time. So we were on the boat at 12:04.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, cruises are a little bit different to talk about than a Disney trip where everything's like a little bit easier to remember where you were and what day. So
Right.
it's okay if we talk about the cruise stuff sort of out of order.
Okay.
Overall, how did you like taking a Disney cruise, and how did Grace like this because it was her first cruise ever?
Yes. Yeah. We all loved it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be an expensive new hobby. Because it was, I really, really loved it. It's like all the good parts of
Mm-hmm.
Disney World
Mm-hmm.
without the stress, without the, super long lines, without,
Mm-hmm.
it's not as peoply, you know, as being in the park. So
Yeah.
it just, yeah. So we we loved it. I booked a placeholder. So now we just have to figure out when we're going next. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
How did you like the shows that were on the ship?
Yeah, so we went to all three shows. The first night was the Seize the Adventure, which was like a super cute little variety show. And that one was shorter. I think that one was only like 30 minutes. And then the two other ones were The Little Mermaid and Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Little Mermaid felt a little long. Like it kind of, I, I think we were all getting like a little sleepy, kind of like checking our watches, like when is this
Mm-hmm.
over? But Aladdin was great. The genie was hysterical. Threw in like pop culture references. He was doing the 6-7 thing. All the kids,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
how long will that go on?
well, if adults are doing it, probably not that much longer.
Right. That's
Because
true.
it's not cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about the restaurants? What did you think about the restaurants on the ship overall?
We loved all of them. So our first night was Arendelle, which I was so happy that ended up being because she left her little Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique bun in that whole next day. You know, get that money's worth out of it, and they hairsprayed that so much it wasn't going anywhere.
No.
So she
You're going to
had
be
her.
finding glitter on her scalp for weeks.
Oh yeah, yes. That the glitter lasted days. So she had that one, or we had that one first. So she had her Elsa dress on with her cute little hair still done. And we did the late dining, which I hear is, not as popular with younger, children, families, but that ended up working great for our family because we thought it made more sense for us at least to do the show first and then eat, because I had a feeling that if we ate first, we wouldn't make it to the shows because we would be full and sleepy and tired. I put in a request to be near entertainment specifically for that Arendelle restaurant. So, and we had the best table. We were one back from like the center of it, and those people ended up not showing up. So we had a front row view. So that was amazing.
Perfect.
And we were seated with another family for the trip, which I know people, have like thoughts about that, but that ended up like working out really well for us. Like it was a family of 5. They had a daughter who was the same age as Grace, and they hit it off right away. So that ended up, I think, working in our favor that we were at a shared table, because then she had a little friend and she went to the kids club, which we did not think was going to happen, but she had a little buddy to go with. So that was awesome. So, but yeah, I thought the food in Arendelle was good. Probably my least favorite of the food, but liked the show. And our second night was 1923. It was like their steakhouse. That was great. And then the last night was Marvel, which that was probably my favorite meal that I got. They had this like super buttery pasta with scallops on it. That was just delicious. So, yeah. All in all, I thought the food was good.
Let's talk your stops on this cruise. So you went to Nassau and you went to Castaway. How were the stops? Did you even get off the boat at Nassau? Because a lot of people skip that.
Yeah, no, we stayed on the boat at Nassau, so we just made it like a sea day, and a bunch of people did too. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure some people got off, but it felt pretty crowded in all the areas. So the Castaway day, this was the very last day of our trip. So we're at day 9. And we finally had our big toddler meltdown at Castaway Key.
Oh no.
So we had the the Royal Princess Gathering that morning at 9:15, which is, oh my gosh, like one of the hardest things to book ever. It took me back to the Rise of the Resistance virtual queue day, with how fast those went. But so we had that at 9:15. That kind of put us a little behind the 8 ball on the Castaway Key day. So we didn't get off till 10:30 at the family beach. There was absolutely nowhere to sit. I mean, it was packed. It was gorgeous, perfect weather. So, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better beach day. So that's why everybody was out. But, so it was so crowded. She didn't like the sand on her hands. She thought the water was too cold. She wanted to play with her sand toys. I don't want my feet to have sand on them. And like, it was just,
Oh no.
yeah. So I had a little felt sorry for myself moment, because I was really excited for Castaway, Key, and that was one of the biggest things I wanted to do this trip. But it's like, if she's going to be miserable, this isn't going to be fun for any of us. So we were there for, oh gosh, an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, and then got back on the boat. So we kind of walked back in silence. I had my little moment of disappointment, but such is life as a mom. So it's okay.
Yep. It happens. It happens.
Yeah. So, but if you don't want to get off at Castaway Cay for whatever reason, that's the time to go to the pools, because it was a ghost town up there. So that actually, we tried to salvage the day, so she could actually swim in the pools and not run into 7 kids, along the way. I did the Aqua Mouse, the water slide, because there was no wait. So I was like, oh, well, I as well. So that was fun. So we just had a little, I guess, a second sea day. And then, yeah, but that's okay. Next time.
Next time. All right. Is there anything that we didn't talk about with your cruise portion of the trip yet that you wanted to share?
I mean, I think just what everybody says is, how awesome the service is on Disney Cruise Line. I mean, it was every single person who passed Grace, "Hi, princess, how are you today?" Just like made the kids feel so special. I've mentioned she's a picky eater. We ordered chicken tenders for her every night, even though those weren't on the menu. And he was like, "Is there anything else she'll eat?" And we were like, "Do you have cucumbers?" Like, it's a really random request. And he was like, "I'll see what I can do." So then the other 2 nights when we sat down at dinner, he had a bowl of cucumbers, a bowl of fruit waiting for her. So it was just, like if you're going to cruise, especially with, kids under 5, that's the way to do it. It's just, obviously very kid friendly and just so pretty, so clean, so just very high end feeling too. So
how was the transition back to land and the travel day? I know we talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but talk about that.
Yeah, it was super easy getting off the ship. I think when you have late dining, your breakfast is like a little bit later. So our breakfast was at 8:15 in the marble dining room. So we got to say bye to our table mates one last time. And then we were off the ship about 9:15. Got on the bus and it took us to the airport. So we were at the airport about 10:30ish. So it was easy.
And how did you get from Port Canaveral over to the airport?
The Disney Cruise Line transportation.
Oh, okay. So they had a bus. You made it over there.
Yes.
Okay. What time was your flight back? Because I don't think we ever talked about that the last time we had spoken.
So our flight wasn't until 3:30.
Okay.
I think they said like they recommend don't book one before 11 a.m. And we just didn't really have great options to choose from, or like it would be like 10:55. I'm like, I don't want to be stressed. And now, thank God, with the way this TSA thing's been going on, I was like, whatever, we can sit in the airport. So we were at the Sky Club in MCO for about 3 hours. So
okay,
that's okay. Yep.
There's worse places to be than an airport lounge.
Yes. Yeah. I enjoyed it. She ate cucumbers and chocolate chip cookies and Cheerios. So that was her.
Perfect.
That was her lunch. So but yeah, our flight left fine from Orlando on time. It did not have air conditioning on it, so that was not ideal.
What?
Yeah.
Like the entire flight?
Yeah. So I'm surprised.
Ew.
I'm surprised they actually let them run the plane, but the pilot basically was like, the alternative is your flight gets canceled. So we're just rolling with it. So that was kind of a bummer. But
And did you go through Atlanta on the way back as well?
yes, and
Okay,
we
so at
were
least it wasn't that long a flight, right?
no, it was like
Okay.
it they didn't even have the full beverage service. It was just like, here's a water, here's the
Yeah.
cookie, because it's so quick. So
And then what about the second leg of your flight? Did you have air conditioning there?
we did have air conditioning. Our flight
Okay.
was delayed like an hour.
Oh,
I
okay.
think Delta was having problems that day because of the thing that accident that happened at LaGuardia.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think set off kind of like a
A
chain
chain reaction,
reaction
which makes
throughout
sense. Yeah.
Delta. Yeah. So, there were tons of people that we were overhearing in the airport, like having cancellations and all that kind of stuff. So we were delayed like an hour. So, I mean,
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, not that big of a deal.
Yeah, not that big of a deal. And when you hear about something happening like that, it's,
Oh yeah. Like,
just grateful that you're safe and you're with your family and,
right.
all of
Right.
that. So really terrible thing, and continue to think about the families of everybody that was involved in any way,
Yes.
including everybody in air traffic control, because that's got to be a really tough situation to be living through right now for them as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. That is a sad note to end this on.
Yeah.
When you had such a happy trip. So let's flip it around and let's talk about, when do you plan to go back?
So my husband's job has like a trip that basically you can qualify for every year with sales, and it goes to all different places in the world. Like this summer we're going to Barcelona for that. So but every year they have an alternate trip to Disney. So 2027 we might do the alternate Disney trip, which will be in June. So like I said, we're not really like summer Disney people, so that would be a different experience, but I think it would be fun, to do something different. And it'll be like the summer before she goes to kindergarten, so I think
Yeah.
it'd be kind of fun to do one last big thing before she's in big school.
Oh,
So yeah, so
so
hoping
not
that
too much longer to wait.
yeah. And then I said I booked a placeholder for a Disney cruise, which I guess, so you put down a $250 deposit and you have to use that within 2 years, but you get 10% off of a cruise.
Yeah.
And I guess certain ones it's like up to 20% off. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So, and if you don't use it, then you just get your money back. So I'm
There's nothing to
hoping-
lose.
Right, exactly. So I'm hoping that maybe we can figure out a way to do a cruise next year too, somewhere in there. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
And based on where you're located, I feel like you could easily choose between Port Canaveral departure port and what is it? Is it Tampa or is it
Fort
Fort Lauderdale?
Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale,
Yeah.
yeah. We
Yeah.
actually have. It's actually a lot cheaper to fly to Fort Lauderdale for us. I don't know what is going on with the MCO airport, because Southwest changing everything like they have has just really messed up our prices flying to Orlando, which stinks. But we can get to
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale pretty cheap. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
And
see.
I think they also have cruises that go out of Galveston.
Galveston. So yeah, Houston. That's actually
Yeah.
a direct flight. One of our few direct flights we have from our airport. So
So that's really
we
convenient.
got options. Yeah.
You're going to have so many options, and you can pick whatever is going to work best for you in terms of timing and price. So
Yes.
can't really ask for anything more than that.
Yeah.
All right, Samantha, it has been so much fun chatting with you. I know I say this every time practically, but I really needed this today. It was such a busy day, but I so
Oh.
look forward to it, even on days like today when I have to work in person, just knowing that like no matter what happens at work or out in the world or whatever, it's sort of like how when I go to Disney, I'm able to forget the outside world. Once I get set up here in front of my microphone and I'm sitting with somebody, I'm able to forget the rest of my day, even just for the little time that we're talking. And then the real world awaits me on the other side of the recording. But so thank you for being a part of my magic this evening.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun talking to you, and I'm glad that we'll have this little, piece on the internet to relive our trip.
Yeah, a time capsule.
So that's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a wonderful rest of your week, and hopefully you'll be back at some point.
Thank you very much.
Thank you ever so much to Samantha for being a wonderful guest and for sharing your sweet family's trip with me and all the listeners. I am so grateful, and I always am so grateful to have the kind of guests I have who put their trust in me to share their story with the world. And on that note, I do hope that some of you will participate in my call for submissions that I mentioned at the top of the show, looking for some of your favorite non-Disney and non-Universal destinations around the world, whatever they may be. With that, let's wrap this up. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and that you can find a little bit of magic wherever it is to be had. Sometimes that just means enjoying your morning coffee out of your favorite Disney mug, and other times it means working on your plans for your own magical adventure. Whatever you do, keep daydreaming about where you long to be.